Good morning, friends. Ann here. Got my cup of coffee, got the Word of God, and today's reading is Micah chapter 4. And we are reading through the book of Micah this week, and we have been discovering that Micah was sent to warn the nations of Israel and Judah that they were going to be punished because of the way that they were oppressing the poor and they were perpetrating injustice in the land. And so yesterday we talked about how he even was targeting the leaders and saying, leaders, you are setting the tone for this. And today what we're going to hear is some really good news. Because today we are going to hear about what will come in Jesus' second coming. That not only was this a good and encouraging word for the people in Micah's day, but it is still a good and encouraging word for us, each and every one of us, because these are things that still will come to pass when Jesus comes again for the second time on the earth. So let's spend a little bit of time. I want to read and talk about the first 5 verses in Micah chapter 4. And what we're going to hear is that Micah is going to outline 4 freedoms that are going to come when Jesus comes again. And these 4 freedoms are actually explained in David Gutzik's Enduring Word Commentary. And I love that commentary. It has so many good things, so much practical advice. But I want to share with you those 4 freedoms that he points out in his commentary. So the first thing that we see is a setting of the stage of Micah chapter 4, and it says this: in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be the highest of all, the most important place on earth. It will be raised above the other hills, and people from all over the world will stream there to worship. People from many nations will come and say, come, let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Jacob's God. What a beautiful picture of unity, that people from many nations who typically we would think worship in different ways and would want to worship separately the way that they are comfortable, are all streaming to the mountain together and coming together in unity of worship. And then it talks about the first freedom. There he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. So the first thing that we will have when Jesus comes back again is that we will have a freedom from ignorance. Right now, here on the earth, we don't know everything that there is to know. We are not wise. And here it talks about how Jesus will teach us his ways so that we can walk in his paths more fully, more completely. And he goes on to say this: for the Lord's teaching will go out from Zion, his word will go out from Jerusalem. The Lord will mediate between peoples, and will settle disputes between nations far away. They will hammer their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will no longer fight against nation, nor train for war anymore. The second freedom that we will experience is a freedom from war. So a freedom from ignorance, from what we don't know, and a freedom from war. The third one is this: everyone will live in peace and prosperity, enjoying their own grapevines and fig trees. Friends, there will be a freedom from want, from always needing things, from always wanting things. There will be plenty for everyone, for there will be nothing to fear. There will be a freedom from fear. The Lord of heaven's armies has made this promise. Though the nations around us follow their idols, we will follow the Lord our God forever and ever. Friends, I hope that today this encourages you to know that Jesus brings freedom, that he will bring freedom from ignorance, freedom from war, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. Friends, if you have not turned to Jesus, know that he brings freedom even now, even before the second coming. We know that we can find freedom in him, and we have little glimpses of what that will look like as we live our lives for him today. Remember, friends, be hopeful because Jesus brings freedom. Have a good day.